Hey y'all, it's Heel Heat time.
Hi everybody and welcome to Heel Heat. My name is George Coles and this is our Ring of Honor show for the week. First off, let's jump right into it. First match of the night was ACH versus Roderick Strong. And I gotta say, the last few matches I've seen ACH in, initially I thought of him as just another X Division, high flyer, junior heavyweight, whatever you want to call him. But the last few matches, he's really showed an evolution of his character and showed that he can mat wrestle, showed that he can use ring psychology, and this was no exception. Him and Roderick Strong put on an absolutely amazing match. Lots of back and forth, lots of psychology, lots of, why am I use this so I could soften you to do this. And I thought it was absolutely great. I loved how the two of these guys worked together. I love Roderick Strong in his role as part of the decade. It's forcing him to wrestle some of the younger talent, some of the newer talent to Ring of Honor, which I think can only help these guys, A, get more accustomed to the Ring of Honor style, and B, just become better all-around wrestlers, because you got a guy like Roderick Strong who has to be on the short list of great in-ring talents in the world, and he's out there, and it shows through with a match like this against ACH and his feud he's got going with Cedric Alexander, which is going to accumulate at the pay-per-view later this month. I thought this was an awesome match. Roderick Strong picks up the win. I thought ACH showed that he can hang with somebody of Roderick Strong's caliber. I think this, accompanied with the match against Mike Bennett at the Global Wars pay-per-view, are kind of ACH staking his claim to being one of the future stars of Ring of Honor. Next up, we have a three-way match for the TV title. Jay Lethal versus Tommaso Ciampa versus Matt Taven. The match never really gets underway. They all start fighting outside the ring. Ciampa gets taken out with a chair by Lethal to his knee that's just been surgically repaired. They actually start the match with just Taven and Lethal in the ring. As soon as Taven has the upper hand, which is within 30 seconds, Truth Martini comes in and hits him with the Book of Truth. Basically, the whole thing is just a mini rumble. I'm guessing they're going to hold off on the actual three-way match for the pay-per-view, which looks like that's what they're going to build it for. Personally, I like three-way matches, don't get me wrong. I like three-way dances, whatever you want to call them. I just think in the feud that Tommaso Ciampa is the odd man out, kind of. It makes sense why Lethal and Taven are feuding, and Ciampa, I guess, too, because he just lost the belt to Lethal. However, it doesn't quite work as a three-way feud. I don't know. There's just... And I like Ciampa, don't get me wrong. I think he's a great talent. I just think that he's the piece that don't fit here. But, that being said, I think they're going to put on an amazing match. I'd rather see a Lethal versus Taven match. Two guys you got, again, like I said, with ACH and Roderick Strong. I know Taven's a little bit further along in his development as far as ROH-wise than ACH is. But you get one of the standard bearers, one of the flag bearers for ROH and Jay Lethal against a guy, Matt Taven, who's newer to the company. You could really have something special and really put Taven into that upper echelon main event talent kind of role. Ciampa as well. I think Ciampa's already there on his own. But I think it's going to be a good match either way. Build for the pay-per-view. Next up, we have the main event of the night, Michael Bennett versus Jay Briscoe. Briscoe's made it a goal to get his Briscoe world title back from Matt Hardy, which has been redesigned into the iconic world title with a picture of Matt Hardy over Jay's face. Matt Hardy, Adam Cole, and Michael Bennett are in some kind of group together. Every time they mention it, they say something like the Holy Trinity or the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Maria says it on commentary during the match, so I guess that's what they're going with for it, but I haven't officially heard them say that's what it is. But anyway, a really good match, really solid finisher. It had a lot to live up to with the beginning match of the night, and it equaled it, I think. I think this match and the opening match were just as strong as each other. Jay Briscoe picks up the win going forward. We know he's going to eventually challenge Matt Hardy. Again, mostly probably at the pay-per-view coming up, which this is all setting up for, which I have no problem with. I think you should be setting up for the pay-per-view, and you should be getting ready to sell what might be the biggest night of Ring of Honor's history, their first actual live pay-per-view. They did pay-per-views a few years back where they were pre-recorded months in advance, and they were met with lukewarm response, mainly because they were pre-recorded. Kind of like the TNA does with their one-night-only pay-per-views. They're pre-recorded. They don't. I'm sure they get enough buy rates that covers their cost for it, but it just doesn't have the same feel as a big-time main event pay-per-view. And Ring of Honor's done internet pay-per-view. Over-the-air pay-per-view is a totally different beast. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see if this helps them grow as a company, or it shows them as being an inferior company. Right now, and not to go too far off the subject of just this show, I see Ring of Honor is trending upwards. The talent level, the roster exchanges they have with New Japan Pro Wrestling, the guys they have coming in and going out, and guys like AJ Styles coming in, you got the Jay Briscoes of the world, Kevin Steens of the world, Michael Bennett, Matt Hardy, Adam Cole, Michael Elgin, Jay Lethal, all these guys, Chris Hero, Homicide, Eddie Kingston. You got a really great nucleus of talent that's coming through Ring of Honor, and they're on an upswing. They're everything they're doing is seeming to be hitting home runs, whereas the company directly ahead of them, I would put Ring of Honor as the third company in America behind TNA and, of course, the monster WWE. TNA seems to be going down a slippery slope downwards. Ring of Honor is heading upwards. If they play their cards right, Ring of Honor could become the second biggest company in America, which is no small feat for a little independent company that started in Philadelphia 12 years ago, just as a way to keep putting out videotapes for RF Video. But for those of us that have followed it and have enjoyed Ring of Honor and their product, it's a very exciting time for them going forward, especially with the pay-per-view coming up. But let me get off of my little soapbox here and get into the ratings for the week. Now, if you've seen our show before, we have a 1 to 5 scale. 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. We give the show a solid 5. I liked the two actual matches. I thought they were both great. The schmaz in the middle with the three-way for the TV title, it didn't take up a lot of time. It was maybe 5-10 minutes of TV time, but it sold the feud going forward, which kept it interesting. Even though we didn't get to see 3 great wrestlers wrestle, we kept our interest peaked for a potential future match. But I give it a 5. I thought it was awesome all the way around. I liked how they build everything. I like how they're building Strong up as being the guy that being the talent that he is, basically. I like how they're building up Jay Briscoe, with Michael Bennett looking strong as well. I like the 3-way going forward. Like I said, I liked everything about the show. But basically, that's all I have to say about that. My name is George Coles, and this has been another episode of Heel Heat.